Hey guys, so today you and I are gonna talk about hiring a freelancer. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, what is the best way to find and hire a freelancer? Well, the absolute best way is going to be if you know somebody, or if you can get a referral from somebody who already has worked with a specific freelancer. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you and say that hiring a freelancer is a damn crapshoot. It is the biggest risk move you can take in IT. It's like hiring a contractor or like just a one-man company or anything like that. You have no guarantees. You don't have any idea what you're gonna get, but you still have to pay for it. So if you're buying software services, you always go with referral. Always, 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 always. And ideally, you should get a referral not from some big massive IT company. You need to talk to someone who kind of knows what they're like. If they're ideally, you want the referral to be from somebody who sort of reflects your own needs, because different companies and different stakeholders, as we call them, will have different requirements on their software developers. And if you go to a big massive IT company, just because they say, oh, these freelancers are pretty good, and you talk to like what, the sales dude who hasn't even talked to any of the freelancers, like he has no frame of reference, he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's like getting a book recommendation from somebody who doesn't know how to read. You need to talk to someone who kind of knows, at the very least, how the interaction went with the freelancer and how things turned out afterwards and things like that. So that is the best way. The second thing that you can do, which is more likely the thing that you're going to have to do, is to go to one of these freelancer sites where you can rent a coder and things like that. And I'm not going to say too much about these sorts of sites. What you should know, on the other hand, is that everybody and their grandmother is on these sites. This is where you will find a mix between serious IT developers. I mean, you can just Google for them, of course, as well, but you will find a very hefty mix of serious software developers and people who they have been doing this for a week. So what you should go by always is to look at the ones that are fairly like within your price range, because they will charge you differently, and demand that you get to check their CV, prior work experience, not just what they have on the fucking site. That is not what you're after. You're after actual a CV, a real CV, where they list out very clearly the same. I mean, you basically have to go through this, I would say, the same way as someone who's hiring a person for your company. You should have the same sort of standards, because otherwise you have no way of knowing if they even know what they're going to do, how to do it. And since you are, I'm assuming here, not a technical person, you have no way of verifying if the work is of any quality. Now, once you have a candidate that is willing to, or a few prospects at the very least, which they have provided your CV, now comes the tricky part for you. Since you don't really know if the CV is worth anything or not, you can of course do the simple thing here if you're short on time and just look at, okay, amount of years and companies that they have been working at and things like that. So see if you can get a good gut feeling from these people. If at all possible, try to get someone with tech skills, like just basically any other programmer, someone who has some experience, to just look at these and say, yeah, this seems to be on the level for the thing that you want. Just to get, I mean, you can practically to contact a random person or maybe someone from a remote friend or like whatever, just to get some feedback on the thing, so that you know if there's blowing smoke up your ass, or if they seem to be genuinely good at what they do. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you're going to hire a freelancer, first and foremost, finding them, the best way is to go through a referral. If you know somebody who's been working with freelancers and they sort of match the same sort of stakeholder that you are, they have similar expectations and similar requirements, talk to that person. Just make sure that you have a good source of that on that referral. If that's not possible, you can go on Google for freelancers, or you can go to so many of the different sites where freelancers frequent. Be very careful, because you will have a complete mix of people. You can just basically you're as likely to end up with someone who's really shit as you are to end up with someone who's really good. That's why you always need to have that CV, and you always need to check that CV, because if they are really inexperienced or really bad at their job, they're going to be a freelancer. But the people who were really really good and didn't want to work in the corporate environments anymore, they are also freelancing. So you need to know what you're looking for. Ideally, if you know someone who can take a very quick look at the CV, let them have a look and give you some feedback on it. Have a great day.